Hello. Hello. See if the mic's unmuted this time. I think I have it going correctly. Yep, I see green lights. So that's good. How y'all doing? Ooh, 122 people on already. That is awesome. Awesome. Steve Warfield, Randy, as much as we love all the great content, especially in the last year, please don't forget to take time for your physical and mental health. And of course, family. Bring balance to the force. Yes. Well, we're going to talk about that. I'm going to give it a little bit of time here and let people come in, and then I'll tell you what's going on with me. And then, yeah, we can talk about it. Hello, Simon, my friend. I'll put it to you this much. I'm drinking water now. Huh? Jerome O'Flattery. Hello from Ireland. Getting on myself, 55. Yeah, I'm 46. But here, I got to turn something on. I forgot to do something on the live stream. Bet you like that, don't you? The dulcet tones of the cheap audio man. All right, 369. All right, that's a ton of people. All right. So 2 weeks ago, actually longer than 2 weeks ago. So I went in to see a doctor about hormone therapy, replacement therapy, right? Testosterone. Because I visited my buddies, and so one of my best buddies played college football, played actually professional football for a while. Coach, strength coach, he's just jacked. And I mean, we were athletes together, so but like he's super jacked and he's my age, a little bit older than me. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm on hormone replacement therapy. And I'm like, no kidding. So I went in and I got an appointment with the doctor because I didn't know what my testosterone level was or anything like that. So I do that appointment. And then, of course, they took labs. And then I came back the following week and the guy's going through my labs. He's like, first of all, your testosterone's fine, your total level. There's another level that he said that was a little bit low, but nothing to be freaked out about. But anyway, my PSA, which is a test for prostate or has indications of prostate cancer correlated with how high your test. Anyway, that came back really high. So he sent me immediately to a urologist. And so I went into the urologist, did the exam and everything. And the guy's like, we should really do a biopsy. So then I had to schedule that. And I went in. And let me tell you something. I don't know if anybody in here has ever gotten a biopsy done of their prostate, but it's not a pleasant experience at all. And they don't put you under. I mean, they give you some type of numbing agents and all that stuff, but still. So anyway, then that took 2 weeks to get back. So I'm freaking out. And I know I tried not to like let on about it, put on a brave face for the family, but inside I'm freaking out the whole time because I'm thinking I dipped tobacco, Copenhagen Skull for 30 years. And I'm like, this is it. All that tobacco, prostate cancer. So anyway, yesterday I go in and it comes back benign. So no cancer. And I was thrilled. And I was going to mention it if I had it. And then I was also going to mention it if I didn't have it, because as an audience of this channel, the numbers say that we're 97% male. Okay. And the numbers say there's a predominantly the biggest viewership is amongst my age. And so I know I'm 46 right now. And so all these little health things are starting to come up and it scared the crap out of me. And my advice or my ask of you all is that if you haven't seen a doctor, go see the doctor, get some labs done, because it was not a pleasant 2 weeks. And I kept putting out content, and I'm going to continue putting out content. Simon, negative, benign. I'm good. I'm all good. But it scared me straight. So I quit dipping tobacco like 2 weeks ago, like as soon as it happened. And what, if you guys aren't up to date on physicals, colonoscopy, I got to go get one of those in March. Got an appointment with a cardiologist on the 7th because I wasn't feeling great in December. So all of this kind of got spurred on by that doctor's appointment with the testosterone guy. And I'm not going to get on testosterone because that can accelerate the growth of prostate cancer. I don't have it according to the doctor, but I don't want to tempt fate. So please. Oh, blood pressure, BPH. My blood pressure is fine, actually. It was high every time I go to the doctor because I was flipping out. But yeah, go see a doctor, get some labs done, get a physical, get a colonoscopy, because, I don't I can sit here and say I wasn't, I don't care, or I'm not scared of death or whatever. But what I'm scared of is dying and not, like, the kids not having a dad, or like my wife not having a husband or stuff like that. So, I want you all to take your health seriously, because I never did. I made fun of it. I made fun of going to the doctor. I made fun of the insurance industry. I made fun of it all. I was like, I'm not going to the doctor. This is stupid. And I never went. And now getting them all out of the way the first quarter of 2023. But it took me back a little bit, because when you have that kind of hanging over your head, like, I wasn't nearly as funny. And yesterday I was just texting a guy, and I was way funnier because, like, all that brain capacity that worrying was taking up was, like, freed up. So still going to put out content, maybe even more content. But it did adversely affect my brain the last 2 weeks just from anxiety and worrying. That's another thing. If you have anxiety, if you have depression or anything like that, or you're feeling down, a lot of times can be associated with hormone levels. Sometimes it's just you have depression or anxiety, and there's nothing wrong with getting that checked out and treated too. I mean, I'll be completely transparent. I've been on medication for anxiety and depression for almost 20 years at this point. There's a lot going on up here. You don't want to go in there after dark. So anyway, just encouraging everybody to be healthy and go and so that's why I'm not funny. Oh, cool. You said so that's why you're not funny. Anyway, please go get a physical or something. Liver biopsy was doable. The recovery sucked worse than my fractured ribs. Dude, it was, oh my God, it was terrible. That biopsy, terrible. And so I'll tell you the little story. So they go in from the back door, right? Congrats on being benign. Thank you. Time to relax and put surfers on it. Okay, so that actually is a good segue into this. So there was a machine there, like I don't know what you call it, sonogram machine or something like that. And I knew I was getting a biopsy, right? And so I go into the thing. There's the machine. There's the screen, and there is a device that is big. And I'm like, that thing is going inside of me. And like, I was thinking to myself, like, at least cover it up, put a box over it. Cause I had to face the wall. So I didn't know, I couldn't see what was going on. I felt what was going on, but I'm facing the wall, and I'm like, for God's sake, throw a pillowcase over that thing, put a trash bag over it, because it was intimidating, very intimidating. And so they go in there. You didn't think this was going to happen today, did you? Gonna play by play of the biopsy. So they go in there, and the doc was like, well, first of all, they had to do some stuff, which wasn't pleasant. And the doc goes, you're going to feel a poke. He goes, various pokes. And he didn't like prepare me for how many pokes it was going to be. But let me tell you something. They were thorough. I felt like a voodoo doll. I felt like, have you ever seen, like, if you're a sewer or your mom or grandma was a sewer and they have that like tomato with all the needles sticking in it? That's what I felt like. And then there's like a clunk every time they go in there. Oh, dude, dudes, dudettes, whoever's here, not pleasant. And then the rest of the day, when the lidocaine wore off, or what lidocaine wore off, not fun at all. But clean bill of health for the most part. Still got to go get a colonoscopy. Still got to go see the cardiologist. But I'm back. You got 100% of my brain power, and I'm feeling great. Feeling great. I had a kidney stone in 2018. Was removed by laser. I had terrible pain. You know what's weird is my stepdaughter just had a kidney stone, and she's young. Edward Scissorhands. You got a shot. I did get a shot before, and I had to be on antibiotics too. But guy was thorough. You still seem low T. Well, thank you, Kegu. Thanks so much. Appreciate that. No, my testosterone level was great. I guess it was like higher than average. Actually, when I talked to the urologist, he's like, how long have you been on testosterone replacement therapy? And I said, I'm not. And he's like, oh, your testosterone level is really good. Good thing it's great to be alive. 710. LOL. Mine was in the 700s. I don't remember what it was. Kidney stones from too much soda. I've never had a kidney stone. Kidney stones are the devil. Movie junkie. I had a colonoscopy last year. Went fine. I'm 38. They recommended more fiber. LOL. Yeah, apparently they've moved. So it used to be 50. Now they've moved it down to 45. So they want you getting one when you're 45. So, yeah. Never the same after having that biopsy. Celebrate with new gear. I've got plenty of gear in here. Scott, damn late. What I missed? Nothing, man. I'm healthy, but I had a big scare. So yeah. I know that you're scared. I was also freaking out about 4.5 years ago when I threw a PSA of 42 at a physical exam. Biopsy, yes. Cancer. Oh, I'm sorry, Mark. Sorry, brother. But that was 4.5 years ago. So I'm assuming either you got treatment or it's slow moving. Unfortunately, I've been getting colonoscopies since I was 37. Seems I'm a polyp farm. Ew. I'm sorry, man. I'm glad I'm good too, and thank you so much for the well wishes. Glad you're healthy. Silver lining. Yeah, I was flipping out. I wasn't telling anybody about it. I was like, I was saying, you know what? I'm good with all this. I'm completely good. If I have it, I'm going to do the next right thing. I'm going to get the thing. I'm going to go get a second opinion. Whatever treatments, I'm going to research that. It's all going to be good. And I'm going to do what I need to do. Thank God. Lifting floor standing speakers should keep T up. Yeah, I just packed up the SVS Prime Pinnacles. Yeah. They're pretty heavy. All right. As a medical physicist who's currently creating prostate radiation plans, I'm glad you're not in that boat. Congrats. Yeah, apparently they have little cesium pellets they stick in there, which is ironic because I was thinking, how ironic would it be that I got prostate cancer because I sat on top of a nuclear reactor when I was in the Navy? And then they would have to put cesium in me to kill the cancer. But anyway, this month is 5 years cancer free, and I can give blood again. Man, that is awesome. Awesome. Did you verify that all the medical equipment have been getting clean power? Yeah, I brought in some AudioQuest power cables and then an AudioQuest power conditioner. And yeah, the resolution was great, apparently. Colonoscopy is easy. The prep is the suck. Yeah, I've got the whole pages about it. So yeah. Soda actually helps break down kidney stones. In Afghanistan, they recommended we drink soda to offset the minerals in the water. It's interesting. I admire you having cojones to speak out so natural about your health. I follow you for a while. You're good people. Thank you. I'm at my dental lab listening to your broadcast. We salute you, man. Well, thank you. Thanks so much. Art Celeram Dental. I need to make a dentist appointment too. Go get my teeth checked out. But yeah, I mean, this is the thing. Like, I never thought that I would have a platform to talk to my peers, other men my age. And when all this happened, I'm like, you know what? I'm doing nobody a favor by not talking about this, especially because thousands of people are going to watch this thing. And the math says that out of thousands of people watching it, 97% of those watching are going to be men. And a good over half of that percentage is going to be men that are, 35 to 60 or so. So y'all, you look like me. We're the same. And so I wanted to talk about this health stuff because, I never worried about health. I never worried about any of that stuff. And now it kind of gave me pause. And then I wanted to, I wouldn't say raise awareness, but I just want you all to take care of yourselves and go see the doctor. Get checked out. Simon Hacksaw Shaw, thank you so much. $10. So is your subwoofer loose sounding now? It felt like it was. Glad you're okay, my friend. I list Connect for most of the reveal, so I'm not scarred. Take care of yourself. I only just found you. All the best. Simon, we've been buddies for a while. Yeah. I'm approximately 97% male. Steve says, preach. Rick Herman, I'm at the same age as you and had first colonoscopy in November. Prep wasn't bad and the scope came back clean. Nice to have peace of mind. Thanks for using your platform for this. You're welcome. And I thought it was kind of, it's crazy because there's been a lot of YouTubers that have been having health things. And it's scary, but it's weird because, I know John Darko had something happen with his eye and he had to have some work done. And I know other people have talked about it. So, and I also didn't want it to be like, oh, woe is me. That's why I never talked about it till now. But yeah, it's weird, man. Good man, Randy. Thank you, MW. His rear port chuffs did for a couple of weeks. So glad to hear your good news. Prostate cancer survivor here. 6 years straight with PSA of 0. Wow. To everyone watching, I highly recommend both Dr. Berg and Dr. Mandel here on YouTube. Huh. Very nice. Very good. Very, very good. Mark, turned out to be stage 4, spread to the lower spine, and started pill and injection-based chemo a few months later, and within 3 months, the PSA was down to 12. Since, my PSA has been nothing, less than 0.04. Wow. Oh, man. Mark, well, I'm glad, man, because you're a big part of our community. I had a series of radiation treatments on my spine, no evidence of cancer anymore. Oh, man, that's awesome. Had a colonoscopy at 37, was false alarm, but not taking any chances. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, even though this came back benign, like, that's the deal, man. Like, it was a wake-up call. And I cold turkey quit dipping Copenhagen. And if you've been following the channel for a while and you've been on any live streams, I used to have a dip in almost constantly, and dipped for 30 years. Grew up on the farm in Nebraska, and had my first dip at 14 or something. Detasseling corn, and then dipped in college, and then really in the Navy, dipped all the time because I was on a submarine, and so yeah, 30 years of tobacco, and then cold turkeyed it. That maybe had something to do with my anxiety too. I've had prostate cancer, and I spent 10 most. I don't know what that means, man. Wait till you're 67. Yeah. That was my freak out. I'm like, if this is happening at 47, what's it going to be like in 15 years? Dr. Bird YouTube channel is great. Cancer survivor here. That's awesome. Take care. Drink lemon water every day. Yeah. I've had two concurrent days of green smoothies. Yeah. So kale, broccoli, apple, banana, some milk, tablespoon of sugar. I'm hoping to wean myself off the sugar too. Worriers tend to be sensitive people. Yes, depression can make you seem selfish, but you're hyper aware of everything. That's the problem. Haha. Yeah. Yeah, depression's another deal, man. Like, nobody should be afraid or ashamed if they don't feel good mentally. Get treatment. There's absolutely stuff out there to help. Whether it's counseling, medication, combination of thereof, all sorts of things. I do counseling and medication, and I've done so in one form or the other for 20 years. Tony Stark shakes. Pretty much, yeah. I don't know what was in Tony's, but yeah. I used skull for 20 years. Glad I quit. It gave me really bad GERD. I don't know what GERD is. I did for so long, so much, so often. Try nicotine lozenges if you're having trouble. Yeah. Working out is the best treatment. Yep, that's another thing that's on my list. I used to do triathlons. And I used to be weightlifter / bodybuilder for years and years, high school, college, in the Navy. Then I wanted to do triathlon to see if I could do long distance stuff. And then after I did a full Ironman in 2016 in Kentucky, Louisville. And I came back and I was so wrecked from that race. I was just like, I'm taking a year off. That was 6 years ago. So I need to get back out there. Zoloft and Trazodone here. Man, thanks for being honest. That's awesome. That is awesome that you're honest about it. You ever notice speakers sound better when you smoke weed? No, I actually don't smoke anything. So no. GERD is the word. It's said that nowadays folks die with prostate cancer, not from it. Yeah, I heard the same thing. I understand your feelings. You'll be okay. Positive mental attitude is the greatest medicine of all. Yeah. Yep. Mark, I heard the same thing. Brian Romska, man, think about how much better we'd all be if people shared stuff like this. I got to imagine it'd help a lot of people out to know you're not alone. Okay. Yay. Speakers and amps and stuff. Very good. Yes. Yeah. I think we need to talk about this stuff every now and again. And I know it's like not typical, or atypical of men, tough guys. We don't go to the doctor. It's stupid. Let's eat some beef. Don't get me wrong. I love beef. I like all forms of, hamburger, steak. I like corned beef. I like roast beef. I like Philly cheesesteaks. Don't love Philly, but I like the cheesesteaks from there. Randy, you can use this community for help. We need you for the same. Yeah. Yeah. They took our jobs. That was the best South Park. Music therapy works. It's why I'm here for gear. LOL. Yeah, music is um, um, really important. We got another Kevin Harris, also on trazodone, Seroquel, and Cymbalta, along with Valium. Mental health is real. Yeah. They tried to put me on Seroquel once, and I was so, I'm like, no way. I'm addicted to pastrami. I don't blame you, Purple Einstein. Biopsy was a drag. Yeah. Hey, whoa, what's wrong with Philly? Joe, Philly's great. It was, people were mean at the Philly airport every time I flew in there. It just seemed like people were really mad. I am 44 and I did 10 cardiac surgery start when I was 19 until last year. So don't worry. It is just a circle of life and nobody will die before his day. Give me a fake smile. Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that, MZM. That sounds terrible. But yeah, it's cool to hear all your stories, and because it's like it's uplifting to everybody. We got 484 people watching right now. So like you all sharing and being honest and vulnerable. I know that's crazy, right? We're being vulnerable with each other. It's really cool because I think it helps other people. I haven't seen a doctor in 30 plus years. Now 65, terrified to go. Gary, I can kind of relate to that. That was the thing about I hadn't gone, and then I was having some chest pains, and then this prostate thing and everything. Yeah. Music is my mental health treatment. But it's kind of like like you could like maybe there's something they can do, right? Even if you have something like if it can prolong your life for 5-10 years, like, but I get it, man. Like I hadn't been to the dentist in years. I'm like, I don't want to go to the dentist because what if I have a cavity? Like that's crazy thinking, right? Early diagnosis is key to survival. Yes. Glad you have such a good sense of humor through it all. Tony Jenkins. Yeah. Mark is salt of the earth. Laughter is the best medicine. I have a bag now so I can poop and still listen to music at the same time. That's it's being efficient. I don't even want to waste time going to the bathroom. Fear of doctor visits at our age can be fatal. Make the call. Don Finney. Yeah. Tried all sorts of CBD, but it's unregulated here and overpriced. It's getting a dependable, decently priced vendor. It's a jungle. Yeah, I'm not up to speed on any of that stuff. I have the same issue with the dentist. Had braces as a teenager. I never had braces. Heart attack survivor from 09. Exercise, sun, and listening to music are all good for the soul. Blessings to you, Randy. Tommy Dix. Yeah, I've been trying to like just relax more. And I know that's like weird to say, but just like I used to hold my shoulders like up here. I just relax. I'm also doing trying to meditate more. Is CBD just snake oil? I don't know. A lot of people probably say no. But I think some CBD that's meant, I don't know anything about CBD, but I do know that all these places popped up overnight. So there's got to be money in it. My uncle ended up having to have his prostate removed. It woke me up a lot. If anyone has worry, they should look into Dr. Drew's story with his. Very informative. Yeah. Yeah. Troy got no, it works. Trevor says Cam. Barry says hard to find hood CBD. I think good. New fan here. Best wishes to you. Thank you. Narciso Mendoza. Superman wearing a Batman hood with Batman trying to get it back. I like it. Diet, please change. Yeah, green smoothies 2 days in a row, baby. So yeah, meditation is where it's at for anxiety. It works. Yeah, you know what's funny is Jerry Seinfeld was into transcendental meditation. I guess he did it twice a day. So he's huge into that, and has been for a long time. But yeah, there's a app that I use occasionally that is it's like a guided meditation. You can pick like 5-minute meditation, 7-minute meditation. You just sit there, do the thing. So sorry, was asking if you were still interested in triathlons. We should build a Cam Clydesdale team. Yeah, I was definitely a Clydesdale. Although when I did my Ironman, I don't think I was technically a Clydesdale anymore. Clydesdale, if anybody doesn't know, if you're a Clydesdale in triathlon, it means you're fat. Fatter than the other guys. So they have a whole fat guy division. Which incidentally, I think I placed in it once. Am I interested in triathlons? I'll say no. And the reasons why is number one, the time commitment. And I just don't have it anymore. I may consider doing a half Ironman again someday, maybe a 70.3, because I can get away with not having to train like hours on end and I can still finish at 70.3. But full Ironman, I'll probably never do another one again, simply because of how much time it took. And it actually took a toll on my body, because even though I think it was 205 when I did that thing, but man, slogging 205 pounds around for 140.6 miles takes a toll on you. I was wrecked. Like I lost a couple toenails. Like next day when I got on the plane, my legs were shaking. So yeah. But I do need to walk and or jog eventually again and get moving again. Working out is great for the mind and the body, my friend. Yes, I agree. Carnivore diet is the best. Lost 45 pounds and reverse diabetes diagnosis. Yeah, Simon, I was heavy into that in December. And then I got stressed out and like ate some sugar. I continued to eat some sugar, but not as much as I used to. But I'm getting back on it. I had my pork chops yesterday, some cheddar cheese, a whole bunch of kale, a whole bunch of broccoli, some blueberries. So yeah. It took a health scare for me to quit tobacco as well. Isn't that sad? And yeah, but that was me, man. Like I wasn't going to quit until like this happened. Same Copenhagen stuff. Yeah. Tried to quit many times. And one day I had some in and felt like I had a heart attack. ER cleared me, but 4 years dip free. That is awesome. You know what's interesting, John? I was in West Texas. I think I was heading to Sonora, Texas from Odessa. And I was riding in the truck with the guy that I was working with. And I just like, I don't like this anymore. And I quit for a year. And nothing happened. I just quit for a year. And then this is going to show. And then I think I was hunting, and somebody had some Copenhagen. And I was like, hey, can I have one of those? And he's like, yeah. And then I started dipping again. That's how easy it was. Like, that's how easy it was to quit. And that's how easy it was to go back. But anyway, yeah. I did triathlon once behind a Clydesdale with a Speedo that said Team Angry on the butt. That's funny. I never wore a Speedo. But yeah. Yeah. Yep. Triathlon's cool, but man, triathlon's kind of like the first rule about triathlon is that you must talk about triathlon. That's what I always get a kick out of that. And that's kind of how I was. Like I couldn't shut up about it when I was doing it. But it's weird because you pay an inordinate amount of money to enter the races. Like the bikes are expensive, the wetsuits are expensive. Like it is a hobby for people that have money. And it's just a kind of a weird deal that all these like suburban dudes. And I'm not just talking about I'm not talking about race here. Just talking about the type of people that, for the most part, do triathlons. We're all like just suburban executive types. And I don't know. It was cool. I mean, I'm glad I did them. It was, sorry, I got a text message. It was, a personal challenge to me. Like, I wanted to see if I could do it mentally, because I was never a long distance person. Didn't really swim that much. So yeah. Sonora, did you stop at the caverns? No, I did not. I was working. I usually do when home. No. Without sugar, cancer cannot survive. That's cool. Haha, making me think of that hedonism guy, Hedo Rick, or Speedos. And Homer Simpson. One of the coolest Homer. So, Homer worked at a nuke plant, and I worked on a submarine, and I, trained on some nuclear plants, right? And so Homer was in the control room. I was never in the control room. I was out doing stuff. But there was this episode of The Simpsons, and all these alarms are going off on the control panel, and Homer Simpson just picks up a 5-gallon bucket of water, pours it into the console, and everything pops. Then the alarms go off, and he just goes back to sleeping. So funny. Hey, what's up, man? I haven't seen you for a while. RJZLWAP. Check out Oilman 70.3 in Conroe, Texas. Yeah. I don't want to go down to Conroe, bro. And I definitely don't want to slog through 70.3 down in Conroe. I was going to do the Ironman that was in Houston, or whatever, that Galveston, but it happened to be when my daughter was graduating, so I changed it to Louisville. Did you smoke when you did the triathlons? No, I've never been a smoker. Simon, pocket hammock on a Panama beach scarred me for life. I imagine. High Five Photo Breen. Watch the Transcendental Meditation. Is actually a cult ran by Dr. Lynch. Meditation is easy, free, and should never cost money. Yeah, I'm not recommending that you go pay money for it. I'm just saying that Jerry Seinfeld is a big proponent of it. I watched a YouTube video about it. Ironically, when I was driving to West Texas, when I used to have a job. I love it. Sugar, tobacco. I like to pipe, but if I smoke twice a year, it's lots for me. Can't stop the sugary drinks and sweets. Yeah, I feel you. Carbohydrates are addictive. Lexus All-Terrain 1 has got some strong feeling about sugar and carbohydrates. Well, the irony is that your body can make. So I was a health major in college, and I took a couple of nutrition classes. I took anatomy twice. I loved it so much. Just kidding. I got a D+, so I had to retake it. But yeah, your body can make glucose from protein, from fat, from anything, right? So technically speaking, we don't need carbohydrates. But we still should eat carbohydrates, like grains and stuff like that. We don't need to eat a ton of it. The problem is we have an overabundance of food. So it's just like filling up the gas tank with more gas and it just spilling out everywhere. But yeah, I have all this knowledge about nutrition, and I implemented almost zero of it. So yeah. Pipe smoker and snuff taker. Whew, I'm so glad you quit, man. Coffee black or with sugar? I drink black coffee. I never put anything in it. No cream, no sugar, no nothing. Randy, late to the party today. Gonna have to get the health news on rewind. I'm good, but I had a big scare. Hope you and the family are well. Yeah. Here we go. I've got an audio question. Do you like the Klipsch RF7 threes? No. I'm not saying no, I don't like them. I don't have any experience with them. So unfortunately, no. It's tough not to eat carbs. It certainly is. All things in moderation. Yeah, that's what my grandma used to say. Straight black rules. And it's not that I drank black coffee because I loved it. Again, everything goes back to the Navy for me. When I was in nuke school, we had one of those giant silver coffee pots, right? That they have like at church things. Like I'm talking huge. And so we would have to finance our own coffee. And so we were a bunch of poor kids. And so we'd buy the coffee. And then our instructor, because it was military school, like they give you zero time to do anything. So out of like a class of 30 people, everybody, we had like a minute to get coffee. So there was no like coffee station with the creamer and the sugar and the stirrers and anything like that. None of that. It was you got your coffee and you went and sat down, because if you didn't, the guy behind you didn't get his coffee. So yeah. So black coffee was somewhat of a necessity out of something that I chose to drink. And then once I drank a bunch of black coffee, then it was just that. That's it. Just drink black coffee now. For upgrades, Elect debut SVS Prime or Gishelli Labs topping E50 as first upgrade from Yamo S807 ProZor DAC combo. My current setup is fine, but these extra Sony bookshelves made me love them. For upgrades, Elect debut or SVS Prime. Okay, so those are different sounding speaker. If it's the debut reference, well, they're all warmer sounding. SVS Prime is great. If you're into something, if you like kind of the clip sheet sound, I think the SVS Prime is the way to go. If you want something a little bit more dialed back and you like to listen at louder levels, I think the debut is probably your best bet. If you like to listen at a little bit lower levels, probably the Prime. J2 versus topping E50, it depends. If you need a remote, get the E50. If you don't need a remote, I would get the Gishelli Labs. So, yeah. Let's see. I think you should upgrade the DAC first, man, because you can keep that DAC forever, or not. Well, not forever, but that DAC will last you 5 to 10 years because they're so good right now, right? So yeah, I'd get the DAC, and I think you're going to be able to hear a difference, especially from the ProZor. KP, favorite music artist albums to bring your spirits up. Thanks for all the audio info and humor. Keep up the great work. You want to hear something crazy? I know you do, KP. That's why you asked me. And thank you for the $10 super chat. Movie Junkie John, thank you as well. I cannot watch Slipknot. So one of the things that I like to do is I like to watch like concert clips. So live concert clips. And so what really gets my spirits up, and I know this is weird, and gets me excited and gets me energized is Slipknot live. And I like to watch Spit It Out, which is usually their last song they play in concert, and they do the whole thing. If you've never seen Spit It Out by Slipknot, look it up on YouTube. It's really cool. He gets the crowd involved, or the Heretic Anthem. If I watch those two things, I can't go to sleep for like 2 hours. So I don't allow myself to watch Slipknot at night anymore. But I know it's funny, but like Slipknot gets my spirits up a lot. And of course, Metallica, pretty much Master of Puppets. I love that. What else gets me happy? Elton John does. I love Elton John. His poppy stuff. It gets my spirits up. But it's weird, but like I love Slipknot so much. Tech Med Rainer Richter, 20 euros, I believe. Just entered. I hope you're fine. Yes, I am fine, but I wasn't sure if I was going to be fine for a couple of weeks. Greetings from Germany. Thank you very much. And what I hope this helps people to do is not be scared to go to the doctor, get checked out, especially if you're late 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. Go to the doctor. Get a blood panel run at least. Brian, $4.99. Thank you so much. And Tech Med Rainer Richter, thank you so much for the super chat. My uncle ended up having to have his removed. It woke me up. If anyone has a worry, they should look into Dr. Drew's story. Very informative. Oh, I think you said that before. Thank you, Brian, very much. All right. I'm 41. About a year ago, I started eating Mediterranean, limited booze, limited sugar. Take a vitamin D and magnesium every day. Work out, and buddy and I feel amazing. You can do it as well, pal. All natural. Thank you, Nick. Nick Keller. Yeah, yeah. I'm committed. I'm committed, man. Like, and I was like one of those guys that was like, ate all the beef. I was like Ron Swanson. Like that was my mentality. Ron Swanson, which incidentally, he's a genius. Ron Swanson, even though he's a fictional character, he's a, he's a damn genius. But that was kind of my like meat tornado. I love it. I'm gonna eat that. Um, plate of plate of cinnamon rolls and a pot of black coffee. Sounds like a great breakfast to me. But yeah, I'm on the health kick, or at least trying to get healthier. Bifrost 2, always a good medicine. Zap, bam, done. There you go. What is the link between coffee, hi-fi, and wristwatches? There seems to be a lot of crossover and interest. These seemingly unrelated products categories. I have no idea. I think like audio, like dudes, smart dudes that are a little bit eccentric are into audio for some reason. And I think they're oddly into watches too. I don't know why. Maybe because a lot of us don't have wives or something. And then coffee, I have no idea. I just like coffee. Love it. But I think, well, dudes are oddly into watches. Oh, someone said disturbed. Yes. Just ordered Fozzie K5 and TB10D via your links. Well, thank you very much. TB10D rocks. The upgraded version, hopefully. I got something new. I can't show it to you, but that's all you're getting. Anyway, new product. Very excited about it. Yeah, TB10D. I never heard the K5, but TB10D is good. Is that what I have? No, I think it's over there. Yeah, it's right there. All things in moderation, including moderation. Yeah. Here's a relevant quote from actress Betty Davis. Old age isn't for sissies. Yeah. Ween Pro external DAC needed like the Mini or no? Yeah. I mean, yeah, I would. Because you can get a decent DAC for $200, between 200 and 300, that is going to be really good. You say it all the time, topping E50, Shelly Labs J2, any of the versions, but I prefer the AKM. It's my favorite. And then if you're wanting more budget, then the Schkit Modi. If you want really, really budget, FX Audio. This is the DAC X6, $65, headphone amp. Sounds great. Sounds great. I would recommend this too. If anybody has a work setup, or you have an office and you can use headphones, this thing is incredible for $65. I mean, it's really, really, really good. Hey, I got some new shoes. You want to see them? Check these out. These are Vans that have the Thrasher like logo on there. $40. They were on sale on Vans's website. $40. I was stoked. I ordered them immediately. I have a funny story about Thrasher and Vans. So my stepdaughter is 18. I think IQ peaks at age 9 and then goes back down to 18 and then starts rising back up. So I think when someone turns like 23, 24, they're basically as smart as they were at 9. 9 goes down, comes back up, and then finally kind of goes up after 25. Anyway, I'm wearing some Vans, and my stepdaughter goes, "Oh, you think you're so cool wearing those Vans, huh? You look like you're trying too hard." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, That's what like that's what her friends were. Like, you're trying to be young. I'm like, I'm not trying to be young. Like, Vans were created in the 80s and 90s for skateboarding. Like that was my childhood. Like, Vans are mine. They're not yours. And then she had this Thrasher sweatshirt that said Thrasher on it. I'm like, do you even know what that means? And she's like, no. I was like, it's a skateboarding magazine from like the early 80s and 90s, or the 80s and 90s. And I had a subscription to that. And you like don't understand what you wear. And it is because some YouTuber, some influencer was wearing, or Instagram person was wearing a Thrasher sweatshirt. So she went out and bought a Thrasher sweatshirt. And she was giving me crap because I'm trying too hard wearing my Vans. But guess what? Vans and Thrasher are ours. They're not 18-year-old kids. It's our stuff. Gen X for the win. Have a kale smoothie on me, buddy. Thank you, Ed. I buy the frozen kale and then just take a fistful and then dump it in there. Glad you're doing well. Great content. Thank you, Beantown. Is that Boston? I think it is. I saw another super chat all the way down here. 688 Bubblehead. Thank you. Ahuga. Dive. Dude, we would do angles and dangles, and so the fire extinguishers would go in these metal kind of receptacles. It's kind of like a cup, but it'd be straight up and down and they'd be hollow. And then the fire extinguishers would strap into those. Anyway, they were like, I don't know if they're cast iron or what, but they were heavy duty. And if we would do an angle so steep, I would just stand on top of those, and like the boat would be like this and we would be standing up. It was lots of fun. Angles and dangles. Steve Zeidman, $4.99. Thank you, Steve. Steve's the best. Mark, now that I'm all set up to do DAC comparisons, I've been eyeballing the SMSL D300 and the Japanese Rome chip. Any thoughts? I think I have the D300 here somewhere. I swore I have that thing somewhere. No, that's an AO200. I think I have it somewhere. I'm pretty sure I have that. I have two expensive DACs. Oh, maybe that was the SMSL SU10. That's what I had. I don't think I had the D300. And the SU10. And I like watches. Women on watch forums are probably even more of a rare breed. That's where I learned that men do actually gossip and argue like women sometimes. I think we can all be judgy, gossiping. I like to gossip. You should hear the YouTubers gossip. Yeah. Steve is the best, Trevor. I also saw an interview of Rodney Mullen, and he owns B&W 801s with the 15-inch woofers. Very cool. TechMed, €5. Some more coffee for you. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. I'm mostly German, by the way. I'd like to go to Germany. I've never been to Germany. Does anyone have any info on Yamo Concert C9 surrounds before I spend the $300? I love C9s. Is it the C91? Because I have the C93 Mark II. They're awesome. I love them. They are not a linear speaker, though. They're not flat. So they're boom, boom on the bottom and spice, spice on top. So not a linear flat speaker, but man, oh man, are they fun. And they sound almost like a AMT tweeter, and it's a soft dome. The most detailed soft dome tweeter I've ever heard. And I think it's just the way that they did the crossover with it, but I love them. I don't know the C91s though. I don't have those, but I have the C93 twos, and I also have the matching center channel. I love all of them. The center channel has a huge port, and I do plug the port because there's some resonance that goes on with my entertainment center. But yeah, I love the concert. They're so discounted. Yeah, they're amazing. Really like that speaker. But if you are in for a linear speaker, that's not your speaker. I also have cardiovascular disease. The good docs at UPenn in Philly have been taking care of me. I am also receiving incredible support from my wife and adult kids. Well, Alan, I wish you all the best, and I hope you get well soon, or um, you get better. Get better. Germany is great. I've never been, man. I've been to Italy. Italy was awesome. I don't know. Italy is nothing like Germany, but any opinion on Cambridge amps? Yeah. Oh, well, AXA 25 and 35 are awesome. I haven't really listened to anything beyond that higher end. I did have the DAC Magic in. Very good DAC headphone amp. I like Cambridge Audio. I think they make good stuff at a fair price. It's weird how we perceive hi-fi. This channel was taught me way more than just looking for 4.5 or above reviews on Best Buy or going for expensive Magnolia stuff. Yeah, man, that's why I exist. Here's a good example of like reviews, and I'm not saying like my opinion is the best opinion, but the Polk T15s are a little tiny two-way bookshelf speaker, and they regularly used to go on sale for down to like $65. And these speakers were terrible. I mean, absolutely terrible. Like one of the first videos was about the T15s, and I did a bit where I just pushed it off the table because it was going to be compared, and then I just shoved it off. And then I did a bit where I did port lube, took some chocolate syrup and poured it into the speaker. I used them as speaker stands. Terrible speaker. Just had no redeeming factors. And that thing, and the reason I say that is because it has, I think, 5,000 really good reviews on Amazon, like 4.5, 5. That's almost a 5-star rated speaker. And it's terrible. And I mean, but people don't know what they don't know, right? And I'm not saying my opinion is more valid than any of those people's opinions are, but I've listened to a lot of speakers, and I would buy so many more speakers before I bought the Polk T15. And then Best Buy reviews too. I'm not discounting any of them, but yeah, I think it's important. Like I bought most of my headphones based off of Z reviews. Then of course watched Gutenberg, Andrew Robinson, Ron, of course, from New Record Day. Watched a ton of those guys, and I don't think I've ever been steered wrong by any of them. Stay well, Randy. Love what you do. Thank you, Bradley. All right. Your port lube was funny. I remember that. Thank you. Other one, the funniest fake sponsor I think I ever did was, in my own opinion, and I'm not always a good judge of what's funny or not, was I did a Sennheiser, I believe it was a Bluetooth Sennheiser headphone review. And the sponsor was Ripley's Hairspray. And so I actually had to put a disclaimer at the beginning of it. So I did a whole bit where I talked about, when you're in space, running from space cockroaches, you need to make sure your hair is on point. And that's why you use Ripley's Hairspray. So like Lieutenant Ripley from Alien. And then I lit a lighter and right? Because they had flamethrowers, Ripley's Hairspray. Anyway, it was a thing, play on Alien. I thought that was my funniest sponsor I've ever done. And I also did one, Salazar's Fine Wrestling Implements. That was a funny one. That was my first one I ever did. I thought that was really funny. That was back then nobody got the joke, though. So a lot of people thought that I actually was sponsored by Salazar's Fine Wrestling Implements. I just got my SVS sub delivered the other day. Very cool. Waiver Dave. Love the app. Any streamers that have an equalizer you can recommend? Yeah, the Wing Pro. Right there. The Wing Pro has a 10-band equalizer in it. It's fantastic. It's like $150. Outstanding. Randy, do you feel the Linton's tweeter has a good amount of treble for a soft dome? Yes, but the way that this crossover is done, it's not like coming forward forward at you. It's not coming forward. I wouldn't call it roll off, but the treble is definitely not like on display. Like the Linton is so far the opposite pendulum swing from something like the KLH Model 5s. But the Linton is like sweeter through the mids. I think the Linton's a better speaker. But it's one of those speakers that when you listen to it for the first time, it can be a bit underwhelming, but when you spend some time with it, like all starts to be revealed. And that's kind of a good litmus test. I've said it many, many times that that if a speaker really impresses me in the first 5 minutes, it's almost always going to disappoint me in the first, I don't know, hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours. A speaker that I need to kind of listen to for a while is the ones that I generally end up liking long term. Steve Zeidman says Soviet style letter openers. I believe they were Ivan's Soviet surplus letter openers, and it was a bayonet from an AK-47. That was a good one too. I think that's what hooked Steve into the channel. All right, it's 3 o'clock. I gotta go get the kids. Brian, another $4.99. Thank you so much. Do you have a suggestion? Amp 2 times Boston Acoustics VR1 old, 95 dB sensitivity, 150 watt max, going to plug into a PC for gaming movies, maybe DAC 2, $300 ish. I have a suggestion for amp. Probably look at the Fuzzy Audio TB10D, 65 bucks, depending upon the discount, or look at the AIMA A07, usually around 65 bucks. And then you could get potentially the Topping E50 for 200. So you're in it for about 265. Now you got a remote, you got a great DAC, and you've got a great sounding Class D amplifier. And if you get the A07, you can upgrade the op amps, all for under 300. And those will drive a 95 dB speaker easily. I'll probably drive an 85 dB speaker. I have a liver shake on me and very way shake on me. Did you guys know about the Liver King? I had no idea who that guy was. And then a buddy of mine was like, dude, you got to watch the Liver King thing. And it was some maniac that was all juiced up and saying he wasn't taking steroids, growth hormone, or any of that stuff. And he was like talking about the 9 tenets of health and stuff like that. He's like, he literally every interview he did, he got asked if he was on steroids or growth hormone or any performance enhancing drugs. And he kept saying bald face to these people, like, look him dead in the eye. No, I'm not on anything. He's like, guy's like 46 years old and just jacked. Anyway, Liver King. If you guys want to go down a rabbit hole, go search out Liver King on YouTube. Anyway, I gotta call it a day. Guys, have a great week. Gals, everybody, trees, whatever you are. Have a great week. Thank you so much for watching today. And hopefully I'm going to be funnier because I'm not worried about dying prematurely. All right. Bye-bye. Bye. 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 Bye.